Sure.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to the career exploration session. The first session is on FinTech innovation and product strategy in the digital payments arena. For that, we have Sayed Burhan Mehdi from Bank Alfalah with us. Burhan is a seasoned FinTech product leader with over a decade of experience in different financial services across Asia, and he has done his MBA from LUMS and over to you now, Burhan.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible? Can you hear me? I just want to check.
Yes, Burhan, we can hear you.
Perfect. Let me just share my screen. जी, मेरी स्क्रीन नजर आ रही है आपको सबको?
Yes, Burhan, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and it's always a pleasure interacting with the LUMS student. LUMS ने मुझे बहुत कुछ दिया, and it shaped the way I used to think, and how I think now. So currently I'm working as a senior vice president and head of product solution in Bank Alfalah. I'm also a certified digital finance practitioner. I just completed my MBA in 2025. In today's topic, we will be discussing the following thing. I will just give you an overview of what is the digital financial services, what is payments, fintech ecosystem, product development, and I will also give a touch on the product development in fintech, because product management and in fintech both are similar, but they yes. Okay. We will also be talking on the regulatory compliance and the skill and certification. And if you have any question, then we can discuss this as well. So let's start with my professional journey. I started from the PCL as a customer service executive in 2009, and then I joined Telenor EasyPesa. In 2009, I was one of the leading member, those who launched EasyPesa in Pakistan. 2012, I moved to Telenor Group as a consultant. I was based in Thailand and Dubai. So 15 days in Thailand and 15 days in Dubai. That was a one-year project. And after this, I joined Bank Alfalah for their in the branches banking. They wanted to launch mobile Pesa in Pakistan with a collaboration with Warid. 2015, Telenor wanted to launch financial services in Myanmar and in Malaysia, so they again contacted me. So I joined them as a manager MFS system and processes. 2000, I worked there till 2015. So 2015, they also created a JV joint venture between the Telenor and Yoma Bank. So I joined there as a head of operation and cash management. I worked there almost for 6 years there, but the role was very I was bored with the same things I doing. So, and I feel that I got stuck. So I decided to change my role. So I moved and I decided to move to the product, because I could see that the future is product. So I joined Ooredoo. Ooredoo is a telecom company based out in Qatar. So they are also operating in 12 or 13 countries, same like Telenor. I worked there till 2022. And then in 2022, I joined Bank Alfalah as a head of product solution for the retail payment. In my current role, I'm managing the product solution for the retail payment division that includes the internet payment gateway, POS machine, fintech ecosystem, employee banking, and cash management. So this is the high-level overview of my journey. The reason why I have mentioned here, because I wanted to emphasize that I started with a very basic job, like from the customer service executive. So when I interact with people, when I interact with a student, I see that like the students have a very different point of view. They wanted to have a very good salary, wanted to have a good job. Recently, last week, I was in a Bank Alfalah's management training assessment, where we have the students from all universities, like including the LUMS, LSC, FC College, GC, Punjab University, and everyone was concerned that what is the minimum salary, and I always say that if you have the right skills, you will automatically get the deserved salary that which is competitive, and so at your start you should not be worried about the salary, so you should be more focused on the growth. On the financial services, if anyone can just tell me that what comes in their mind when we talk about the digital financial services, anything. There's no right and wrong answer. You can say anything, whatever comes in your mind.
Burhan, do you want me to enable their mics? Currently, they
Yes,
can't
if you can
unmute
enable.
on their. Sure, I'll
I think
enable.
if you can enable, because I wanted to keep it interactive, so it will be great if you can enable their mic as well.
Perfect. Just give me a minute.
Uh, yeah, because Aisha, I just completed my degree as well, so I understand that like if it's a one-way communication, students get bored, including me. So and we
Yeah.
look at the time, so so
So
when the
I've
lecture will
enabled
end.
the mics. They can unmute themselves now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, Mohammed
Yes,
Samiullah. Yes, go
Samiola.
ahead.
Yes. I can't see the chat because I have enabled the presentation. So maybe you need to speak, or otherwise I need to.
There isn't
Yeah.
anything in the chat. If there is, I'll let you know.
Okay, sure, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right now, if anyone
Okay,
wants
so
to speak, they can speak, or
okay,
maybe
no problem.
Burhan
So
can
I so
move
I
forward.
will start. No problem. No problem. So digital financial services means that we use the digital channel for performing any financial transaction. That includes the mobile phone, ATM, point of sale, the POS machine, websites, smart devices that like your Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. The evolution of digital financial services, it started with the 1960 when the ATMs were introduced, and at the same time, the mainframe computer was also included for the core banking. So, why it was important? Because it helped to process a lot of customer data. Then we saw in mobile online banking in 1990. Then we see a mobile. So in early 2020, we see a mobile phone penetration. So there was a smartphone coming into it, and there was a internet banking as well. 2006, I have changed the color red to because I wanted to emphasize here. In 2006, M-Pesa launched Kenya, branches banking in Kenya, and Pakistan also got inspired from the M-Pesa, and in 2009, Easy Pesa launched Telenor launched Easy Pesa in Pakistan. Mid 2010, uh, there was a start of the fintech, the earlier days. And then there was a biometric authentication. So Nadra also allowed their APIs that only the regulated entities can consume. Even now, only the regulated entities can only consume the Nadra APIs. And then 2015, the open banking, and now we have like emerging technology, blockchain, crypto. So here I just wanted to add that there was a time when banks used to consider fintech as their competition, but now banks treat fintech as their partner because that adds an additional revenue stream for them. So this is a very high level overview of the financial services, the how it has evolved. Now we talk about the payment. So because I didn't know that and I knew that there will be a very diversified audience, so I have kept it very simple and generic so people can understand. But if people wanted to learn more, so they can contact me after this session and I can help them to explain further. So for the payments, I have divided this into the three part. One part is the wallet, other is the card present transaction, and the third is the card not present transaction. So if we talk about the wallet, so there are two type of wallet. One is a closed loop wallet, and other is a open loop wallet. So closed loop wallet means that the website which create their own wallet, and customer cannot use these wallet other than that website. For example, we have a Draz, Food Panda, whereas in the open loop wallet, we have a wallet that can be used in anything anywhere else. Also, for example, the Easy Pesa, Jazz Guy, so you can do IBFT, you can do whatever you want to do, the QR payments. So these are the wallets. The second part is the card present transaction, where you need a physical card plastic to perform the transaction. So primarily it is used for the point of sale machine. And within the point of sale machine, there are two different segregation. One is a soft pause and other is a MPOS. So when we talk about the soft pause, it means that your NFC enabled phone become a point of sale machine. So you just need to install an application which is provided by the acquirer, and then you can start accepting the payment on your phone machine. So this is very cost efficient, and that is the future. And the second part is the MPOS. So MPOS, what happened that like you connect your phone with an external device, maybe through the wire, through the Bluetooth. It's a small device, and then you can start collecting payments. So there are different type of card present transaction, like chip and pin, like you insert your pin, your card, and perform the transaction. Next trip that has already been stopped. So now the scheme Visa, Mastercard, they don't allow the max trip, and all the banks have already stopped it. But I just mentioned that you also aware that these are the transaction. The third is the contactless transaction, like you tap your card and perform the transaction. So if the transaction amount is less than 3,000, the POS machine doesn't ask for the PIN. And if the amount is more than 3,000, then you also need to enter your PIN. And the third part, the fourth is the mobile wallet. Like for example, now Google Wallet has also been launched in Pakistan in March 13 March 2025. And the application, they have also allow customer to store their card and then they can tap their device to perform the transaction. So these are the card present transaction. And the third one is a card not present transaction. That means that you don't need a physical card to perform the transaction, physical device to perform the transaction. So these are the mostly the e-commerce transaction where you perform transaction through the app, through the phone payments. We call it a moto, like mail order, telephone order. It means that this is mostly used in hotels where you call the reception and you say that you wanted to book a hotel for X days, and you provide your card number, and they manually enter your card details into the POS machine, and they book your reservation, make payment. And the third is recurring payments. So where this is used for the billing, for example, that you store your card, and on every month, yeah, the amount is directed. For example, the Netflix, you have example, or any monthly subscription that you have done. So there are different channels for performing this transaction: web application, IVR, Moto, invoicing, pay by link, subscription billing. On the security part, there used to be a 2D transaction. 2D transaction means that there was only two party involved into that. One was the merchant, the website where you are performing the transaction, and second, the acquirer. So what it used to happen that customer used to go to the website, they used to enter the card details, CVV, and the transaction successful. But then this was a very riskier transaction, because if I know your card detail, I can easily perform transaction. So the scheme mandated that now we need to enable the 3D transaction, where we also make a customer a third party. So for example, now there are three parties. One is a merchant where you are performing the transaction. Second, the acquirer whose platform merchant is using, and the third, the customer. So whenever customer want to perform the transaction, he receives the OTP on his registered number, and he needs to enter the OTP to complete the transaction. Then there used to be a gateway token is still applicable, where the acquirer, they used to replace the card number and replace the PAN number with the encrypted data, so they don't share the customer card number while performing the transaction. But now schemes have mandated that we need to implement the network token, which means that now the issuer, the bank, they create a token instead of a card number. So whenever customer perform the transaction, So there is no card number that goes to the transaction, but it's an encrypted token. So no one knows. So customer card details are protected, and it's pretty secure. If we talk about the fintech ecosystem, so I just wanted to give you the high level fintech global trend, so you understand that how the fintech is evolving around the world. If we talk about the fintech investments, so over 100 billion are invested across like globally. So the shift is moving to the embedded finance. Embedded finance means that you are integrated the financial side into the non-financial transaction. For example, we talk about the food panda, you order things, but you can make payment through the through card. And the regulators, the state bank, the central bank, they are also very supportive to promote the fintech, and that is why that in UK, UAE, Brazil, they have mandated the open banking. Even in Pakistan, the state bank is emphasizing a lot on the RAST and the QR. So how big is the fintech globally? So by end of 2024, there was a more than 30,000 fintech companies around the world. So this is a huge number. And if we talk about the market value, so the market value is more than 310 billion. So, and it is it is growing with a CAGR of 16.8%. So we are expecting that by 2030, it will reach to 550 billion. So, there are more than 350 unicorns. Unicorns means that a company whose value is more than 1 billion. So the examples are Stripe, Revolt, Klarna, Nubank, Gcash, and Toss. And so these are the some of the segments that are used into the fintech, the payments in payments, lending, wealth tech, insurtech, regtech, digital banking, embedded finance, crypto, and decentralized finance. So anyone who doesn't understand any of the segment, they can ask me, and I'm help to answer them uh, that what is it. But now the focus is more on the embedded finance, where we see the adoption that is coming in. So I've also tried to give an example of the global fintech stories. For example, the Stripe that has a more than 50 billion valuation. They provide the payment gateway, and they have a million of merchant those using their APIs, and Amazon, Shopify, Google, and ChatGPT, OpenAI. They are one of them. And the second is Nubank. They have a 90 million customer. They operate in Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, and they are the largest digital bank in Latin America. The third is the Ant Group. Alipay, they have more than 1 billion users, and they have a super app that like you can perform anything from their app. And the fourth is the Revolt UK. Again, this is a super app. They have more than 35 million users across 30 plus countries. And they are offering the various kind of services. So this is just an example that I have picked, but there are so many other examples as well. So these are the evolving business model in fintech, that B2C platform, that where uh, the companies provide services directly to the customer, like Sada Pay, Naya Pay, Zindagi. So they are directly targeting to the customer. Other is a B2B customer, where you provide your API to the businesses, like software as a service. The third is a bank fintech partnership. As I mentioned, that like now banks don't treat fintech as a threat, but as a partner. So for example, that Postex is working with Bank Alfalah, Zindagi is working with JS Bank, Faisal is working with multiple fintechs. We are also seeing a surge into the aggregator and marketplace model. Aggregator marketplace means that they onboard merchant, and for example, we have Priceway, Alpha Mall, Dras, Timu, and the super app ecosystem that we have Jazzcash, Easy Paisa, Dras Wallet. So these are some of the business model that is operating in Pakistan. So what are the key enablers for global fintech growth? So the first thing is the API. So API are the backbone for the fintech. So anyone who wanted to offer the fintech services, they need to have the API. So the API could be for anything. It can be for the fund transfer, for the KYC, for the rewards, for everything. The second thing is a cloud native infra. So earlier, what it used to happen that like if you wanted to offer a financial services, you need to have a hardware, like you need to have a database, you need to have a warehouse, you need to have a physical infrastructure. But now you can store everything on cloud, so you don't need to have the and then you can scale. So as your capacity increase, you also increase your cloud storage and space. And we also see mobile usage जो है intake, mobile penetration has increased a lot on the smartphone side. The regulation, they are very supportive. Like for example, in State Bank has just launched a regulatory sandbox in Pakistan as well. And even in different countries, regulators are emphasizing a lot on the financial services. And the third part, the last is the Gen Z. So Gen Z, they also wanted to have very customized experience, and they have a very different preference that they want everything instant. So these are and the fintech companies are working on the customer experience. So and to meet the Gen Z preferences. But where we talk about the key enablers of the global fintech growth, so there also are some risks and pitfalls to watch. Number one is the unit economics. For example, that if you are offering products, those and if you're offering a lending, for example, BNPL, and there is a fluctuation on the interest rate, so your margin can reduce. The second is that if a regulator has penalized you for something, like if you're not meeting the regulations, so there are different penalties as well. Not just the regulator, but also the scheme visa master. They all heavily penalize you for that. And the last thing is the VC dependency, that most of the neobanks or digital banks, they scale without sustainable monetization because they keep spending on the customer acquisition. But when their funds are finished, so they struggle to for the customer engagement and you that customer use their platform. I've also tried to give an example of the India, that India had, like for example, in India, there was a 10 billion plus UPI transaction, and it has a more than 4,000 fintech companies in India. In China, there was a 7,000 fintech companies before there was a regulation for the fintech, but after the regulation, it has reduced to over 4,000 fintech companies. Uh, China is the number one, is the pioneer in offering the QR payments culture, and they are also working on the digital currency, and they're piloting in some of the countries. Saudi Arabia, they're progressing pretty well in the fintech. So you must have seen there are so many job opportunities as well in Saudi Arabia. Central Bank of Saudi Arabia is working a lot. They have also created the sandbox for the fintech, so they can do their testing uh, easily, and they have already licensed 150 plus fintech companies. I have also tried to give us some example. For example, in India, PhonePe, they have a more than 500 million customer create. So they come up with a very different and a unique model that gamified credit card payments. So what happened then, they incentivize customer if and they reward customer if customer make a payment before time or on time. And this money reserve pay, and again on the China we have Alipay, more than 1 billion users, WeChat. So earlier it used to be for chat only in Southeast Asia, but now you can perform all of the financial transaction through the WeChat Pay, and the Ant Group that has a value of more than 300 billion. Although the Central Bank of China, they hold their IPO because they have some concerns on the unauthorized lending. If we talk about the Pakistan, so Pakistan has approximately 300 to 400 fintech companies in Pakistan. JazzCash has more than 4 million users, and the trends are QR, short pause, wallet-based lending, salary advance, digital pay, merchant things. And again, Pakistan State Bank is very aggressive and supporting the RAST, EMI, PSB, and digital bank. So, so this is the topic where I want to talk more about the product management. Anyone who knows what is a product management, that will be, if they can share, that will be really great. Okay, everyone is silent, no problem. So, product management is not about building an app. It's not about writing specifications. It's not about solving. It's about solving a human problem. So, the product lifecycle starts with the discovery, that the idea, and then a minimum viable product, launch, and feedback and scale. So, but when we talk about the discovery, so we need to understand that we should not be fall in love with the problem. Oh, sorry, I said. So we should not be fall in love with the idea, that because sometimes people think that, oh, this is a great idea, but we need to find out, we need to be in love with the problem that we wanted to solve. And we also need to understand the customer pain point. For example, that if we have identified a problem, so we also need to understand that, okay, this is the customer problem, but we need to understand that but people are living with that problem. So why someone has not tried to resolve that problem, how customer are managing with this problem, are customer willing to pay if we solve their problem, because eventually whatever we are building, we wanted to earn something. So these are something that we need to do in a discovery phase. We also need to conduct user interviews. We need to conduct a survey. We also need to validate the customer pain. We should not build feature because the competition has built the features, or and we should not skip the discovery part, that thinking that our idea is great. So while working on the discovery phase, we also need to think that what changes we are going to create for the users, and whatever solution that we are building, is this aligned with the overall business goal? Yes, no. uh, then we also need to define what are the outcome. Like, for example, if I build this product, so what is the outcome? Will it reduce my churn rate? Will it increase my customer activation? Will it increase my customer usage? So so we also need to understand that what is the outcome of this. We also need to write a product statement that we are building this XYZ feature to solve the ABC's problem. So, and then we also need to have success metrics. For example, if I launch this, what are the KPI for the product? For example, that, okay, so what is the success criteria? So if how would I define that my product is successful? Because I need to have some KPIs, that, okay, within 6 months or 1 year, how many downloads, how many active user, how many 30 days expert, how many transacting customers. So we need to have these all things. Uh, we should not build without having a measurable criteria, and we should only focus on the output. So that's very important. So when we talk about the minimum viable product, so people think that, okay, so just launch it. So minimum viable product doesn't mean that you launch a product with a low quality. You just need to launch up. You just need to add a feature that is the critical, because you want to validate your idea, that is it worth investing, yes or no. And then you launch, you try to test the market, and you obtain the feedback, the customer usage, and then if you think that there are improvement required before you scale up, then you make that changes, and then you scale up. So when we talk about the global demand of the product manager, so there are over 2 million product manager jobs available. The top hirings are in tech, the FANG, and SaaS. FANG means the Facebook, which is Meta now, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And SaaS is of software as a service, FinTech and banking, e-commerce, retail, healthcare, health tech, ed tech, government tech. And we also see so many jobs for the remote PMs as well. Uh, But the question is that why PMs are in demand? So the PMs are in demand because the products are becoming more complex and user-centric. The PMs drive the innovation, they monetize it and scale it, and the companies they need people, those who can work with the different teams, and they turn strategy into the action. So the question is that because now we talk about the AI a lot, so why product managers matters even at the age of AI? Because with the AI we have we create a bot, we automate things, we increase the speed, we reduce the cost, and many banks and startup replace human agents with the bots. But the reason why product managers still matter are because there is an empathy gap. So when AI replaces the human, so the empathy part is also missing. So bots they lack empathy, especially the moments of distress. For example, if fraud has happened to the customer or any unauthorized withdrawal has happened from their account, and they want to talk with someone rather than just talking with a bot. And I give you a personal experience that like I tried to deposit some funds into my trading account, but amount was not credited into my account. I waited for a few hours, and then I tried to contact their helpline, and there was a bot again. So I click on the option that I want to talk with someone because I couldn't find the option that where I can find the question that I want them to address. Uh, and luckily someone responded back, but when I tried to ask a follow-up question, I received a reply that, oh, you have entered a wrong uh, menu. So, and that was a very frustrating. So uh, it is very important that uh, whenever, even if there is a AI, so humans still be there to manage the empathy, manage the complexity, uh, and they will be a bridge between the customer need and the tech execution. Uh, so what does it mean for the product manager? So product manager, when they're designing the product, they have to ensure that like while they're automating things, they're also considering the human experience. So everything should not be like automated. Like there should be some option that where customers should be able to interact with a human. Empathy is a product feature, and the product manager should prioritize it. Uh, why product manager will always be needed? Because AI can automate answer, but they will not define the right question. As I mentioned that like I was trying to find a right question that to address my problem, but I couldn't find, and I want to talk with the agent. So, but when we are talking with a human, so human uh, they change or they ask follow-up question based on the tone of the customer or the situation of the customer. And again, every great product is built by the human for the human. It will never happen that like AI or bot will build a product for the human. I've also tried to provide some case studies, for example, from the DBS Singapore, Dukan from India, and Monzo Bank in UK. They have all tried to replace the human and try to automate through the bot and AI. But again, they receive a backlash from the customer, and again they have to rehire staff. Okay, so they have to rehire staff. Uh, so these are some of the examples that I have tried to give, that the empathy part is very important. Uh, So now the question, so what do you think that what are the top 10 jobs in demand by 2030? Any guess?
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah.
Aslam.
What I see,
Walaikum salam.
the jobs, what I assume from the European side and from the UK side, because I deal with the HR and recruitment in UK and Europe. Most of the jobs are in project management, business intelligence, business analytics, all this SQL. So these are very trending jobs in these sites. And obviously, these are
Yeah,
dependent on the data and machine learning and AI are involved in it. So, and they are automating their systems, especially the SaaS-based platforms, including the fintechs. So these are the emerging jobs which I see and which are coming up uh,
Thank
mostly.
you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you are absolutely right. So the reason for asking this question was that like these are the top 10 jobs that we foresee in 2030, and I try to verify this from the multiple sources because I wanted to give the authentic data. And other than the healthcare professional, that is more on the professional nurses. In every role, you can plug in the product manager. So you can see that there is a high demand of the manager, although it's on the fourth on the product manager, but either it's a cybersecurity expert, AI, data scientist, UI, UX, in fact, anything you can fit in the product manager. So that is why that I wanted to emphasize more on the product manager that this is the future because AI will automate most of the thing, but again the empathy part and building the product that has to be done and that will be done by the product managers. So I have also tried to give us some touch on the fintech product manager as the normal the fintech product manager, they are more on the financial side. They build products that where customer can send money, receive money, invest, prevent fraud. Uh, and they work in accordance with the State Bank or the regulatory guidelines. Uh, so these are the responsibilities. And I've also tried to make a comparison between the traditional PM and the fintech product manager. For the fintech part, it's more complex and technical because you need to follow the State Bank guideline, not just the State Bank guideline, but also the anti-money laundering, the security guideline, the PCI DSS, like payment card industry security standards. You need to have very high control because if there is anything happen that will cause a financial that will have a financial implications. So this is the but it doesn't matter that either you join a fintech or the traditional payment. The traditional PM is that like you are working in the FMCG or into the non-financial sector. So these are the traditional product managers. So there are different type of product management role, the growth PM, technical PM, data PM, compliance, and commercial. As per my understanding and my observation, the growth PM, technical PM, and the commercial PM, they are in a high demand, followed by the data PM and the compliance one. So because usually when we talk about that, why they are in high demand, because they are on the business side. So any job, those who is associated with a business, with a P&L, usually they get a higher salaries. So, and that's why I try to give us some salary estimation that what are the salaries for the product manager in Pakistan, India, UAE, UK, and USA. Usually the product managers get. On the regulatory compliance, people usually think that like the regulator is a hurdle to launch new thing, but we believe and I've observed that regulator is the one who protect the customer, not just the customer but also the companies, and that is why and they build so many control to ensure maybe the customer don't know what are the control, but being working in a financial services and in a financial sector, we understand that what are the controls that and how State Bank is monitoring and ensuring that the customer is protected. So these are some the examples that global central banks have made to promote the financial services. In UK, they created a regulatory sandbox. The Pakistan has also created a sandbox. India, RBI, they have created a aggregated framework where they give access to the customer that any customer has a consent that if any company can use their data, yes or no. China, I give example that they suspended the access to the customer data end financial groups, unregulated digital lending. They offered digital bank license because they had a fear that now there are companies, those who are working as digital banks, but they are not regulated at all. And in the Europe, we have enforcement of PSD2 and GDPR. Again, this is more on the data privacy. So I give you example from the Pakistani context as well. That, for example, JS Cash in Easy Paisa. So when Easy Paisa was launched, so they had approximate 80 to 85% OTC transaction, and the remaining was a wallet. And the OT transaction used to be sent and still sent on the CNIC, and had a limit like a daily and a monthly limit. So what customer used to do, that when their limit used to get exhausted, so they used to change the last digit of their CNIC so they can send money. To overcome this, State Bank mandated that whenever anyone wanted to receive the OTC, they need to perform the biometrics. For example, that if someone has sent money on my CNIC, so I will go to the agent, I will perform my biometric. If the CNIC number will match with my biometric, then agent will be able to give me the money. Otherwise, they will say that it's a transaction is mismatched. The same thing is for the SadaPay when they launched in Pakistan. So they came with the proposition that the customer can open account within 2 minutes, and then they will get like Mastercard debit card. But State Bank had some concern on their fraud monitoring the platform. So they asked, and so they didn't allow SadaPay to full scale launch until they build their complete robust core banking system. So these are some of the initiatives that State Bank has taken, that they start giving the EMI licenses. So now the question is that what is the difference between the branchless banking and the EMI? So JazzCash and Easy Paisa both are the branchless banking wallet providers, whereas NeaPay, SadaPay, these all are the EMI license holder. So the branchless banking is a branch that is a bank-led model. So there are three. So if you wanted to offer a branchless banking wallet, so you need to have a banking license. It can be usually a microfinance bank, and it has a one-to-one model, like one bank, one telco, one-to-many, like one bank, multiple telco, or many-to-many, multiple bank and multiple telcos. And but for the case of EMI, you don't need a bank. You just need to get a State Bank approval, and after getting the approval, after meeting the certain eligibility criteria, you can offer a wallet services. State Bank recently in 2022-23 also awarded a 5 digital bank licenses in Pakistan. They also introduced Sandbox. I think this month. Maybe end of last month or maybe the first week of this month. And then they are also providing an instant credit score pilot via NADRA and SECP, Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan. Through your CNIC number or through your biometric customer, the companies will be able to create your credit score. And open banking, again, this is a draft policy that is in progress. On the skills part, so I will suggest that, like, if you wanted to be a product manager, so you should go for a Scrum certification. In Scrum, there can be two certification. One can be the through the scrum.org, and or through the Scrum Alliance. If you go through the scrum.org, then there is exam as well. Like, for example, if you go to the PSPO, the fee is, I think, $250, and the passing criteria is that you need to meet 80% marks. So there will be 80 questions that you have to solve within 60 minutes. But if you go for the Scrum Alliance, so it's just a training. There is no exam at all, and you just need to attend a 5 days training, and they will award you a certificate. The scrum.org certificate, they don't have any expiry, whereas on the Scrum Alliance, it has an expiry that you need to renew it again and again. So if you want to apply abroad, the Scrum certifications are mandatory, and they specifically mention in the job description that like the Scrum certification is mandatory. But in Pakistan, we don't see that here for now, but we are seeing a trend that now the companies are working on the agile. Earlier, there used to be the waterfall methodology where you just log the requirement, and then they deliver the product when the complete product is built. But now most of the companies are moving towards the agile because with the evolving with the trend, it's very important that the companies could ship fast and deliver the quickest product feature. And the last things that when I last year I presented, I will present it again. That is a digital footprint. So, I will always suggest that you should be very careful about your digital footprint, whatever you are posting on your social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram. So you have to be very careful because when you apply for a job, especially abroad, they do the screening. So, so if they find anything, and then they score it. So if they find anything negative, so it goes against you. Or even if you apply for a visa, so they also screen, so that can also go against you. So it's very important that you see your footprint, digital footprint. So that's it from my side. I hope that you guys have learned something today. If you have any question, I'm happy to answer.
All
Thank you,
right.
Burhan, for
Yes, Burhan. Sorry.
Hey, you go ahead.
All right. Burhan, I was having one question that how about like tourism in Pakistan? We, by having so many financial institutions, we never do we have any partnerships with external banks, right? Like tourist destinations across the globe. People are traveling from Pakistan to different countries. And I was just reading out the report the other day that around, in 2023, around 7.5 million Pakistanis have traveled abroad uh, for for the tourism purpose. And
Mhm.
as per the policies of Pakistan, they are coming up with e-visa this year, and they want to attract more customers, sorry, tourists to Pakistan. Do we have the ease of having cross-border payments? Like if someone want to carry money and they want to transfer from Bank Alfalah's wallet to different wallets across the world, is that much easy for us to convert those amounts? Or and same goes the other way, if we need to receive the money from external banks, from the banks of Turkey, or maybe from the banks of Saudi Arab or UK, etc. So, how does the state bank's policy, uh, you know, uh, create an environment for the ease of doing business for the banks and the financial institutions?
Okay. So if you talk about the inward remittance, for example, that if you want to transfer money from abroad to Pakistan, so
Mm,
State Bank encourage that, and then you can do instantly and to your account. For example, the Jingle Pay that allows if you are trying to transfer money from the UK, from the Middle East, from the Dubai, you can do it instantly. And so again, see the thing is that you need to have an agreement with the banks abroad. For example, that like when I was abroad and I have to transfer money from Thailand to Pakistan, so it used to that the first money used to go to the Singapore and from UAB bank and from the UAB to and then money used to come from there to Pakistan. So that is already happening, and it takes approximate 3 to 4 days to complete that entire process. But again, whenever if you have not uh, so what happened that whenever you receive a money, so usually bank, if the amount is higher, so bank will call you to ask you that where you have received the money. So to ensure that there's no money laundering or anti-terrorist finance or all the things. So they will ask you to fill a form, and then you can receive that money. And if you are working abroad, then you can simply open a RDA Ocean Digital account, and you can immediately transfer funds from abroad to your RDA account. And if the tourist is coming to Pakistan, they can use their debit card and credit card to our ATMs, our POS machine. For example, Apple Pay is not allowed in Pakistan from the State Bank, but like our issuer, like our card doesn't accept allow the Apple Pay. But if someone who has an international card and they have configured the Apple Pay on their watch, they can use the Apple Pay in Pakistan. So the tourists, those who come to Pakistan, they use their debit card, their credit card. Although the transaction fee is higher, the interchange and all the things, but they can use it.
Oh, all right. And like you said that it takes around 2 to 3 days to prevent the AML side and everything. But is there any chance that it can be done seamlessly, like a real-time payment, likewise we do the payment locally, right? From the if we need to transfer the payments, it's real time in Pakistan within the country. What I
So
see,
there,
like in Monzo, if from Monzo, if I need to transfer the payment to US, it's real time. It's it travels real time. So why does it has to stay in a bank or in the settlement accounts for like 2 to 3 days? Then meanwhile we do have to do the paperwork and everything to prevent the the laundering and the terror financing and everything. So how do we um, cope of this kind of experience? We can come up with a better experience for the users.
of course, we can come up with a better experience, but again, the thing is that the banks, those who need to create a solution, they also need to see that if they offer these services, what is the volume, what is the quantum? So is it a profitable business? Yes or no? Because like if a fewer customers are sending that money, so I don't think so that will be feasible for the customer. I give you example that, like for example, if you are using the Jingle Pay in Dubai, you can instantly transfer money to your bank Alpha account.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, it has to be done the integration between the banks and the fintech companies, those who are abroad.
Mhm.
So, but again, it depends that if it makes a business case for the banks in Pakistan.
And if and going out, let's say if they need to transfer the PKR to Dubai, will that be easy as well?
In a State Bank approval, then you can only send money from Pakistan to abroad.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Joseph.
Am I audible to you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, Joseph.
Uh,
No, we can't hear you, Joseph. If you can speak a bit louder.
Zara, can you speak loudly or like write it in the chat box and I'll read it out for you? In the meantime, if anyone else has a question, they can raise their hand and we'll circle back to Zephyr.
am I clear now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So my question was that Easy Pesa right now is one of the leading fintechs and recently been converted into a digital bank, has been issued a license. My question is
Mhm.
branding an important part here? Because what I see, what we have discussed in our groups, that Easy Pesa has been termed as a Garibon ka bank and something like that. So does branding has an impact on its financial performance or KIP objectives, the KPI objectives that it has to, get to?
Joseph, your voice is, like you mentioned that easy first is what is the digital bank license, that I understand, but next question?
I'm
So
sorry, I lost you.
Burhan, can you hear us? I think Burhan is having some
I can hear
internet
you, but
connection.
I couldn't hear the Josephus.
Okay. So Zephyr is asking, like, he's comparing Easy Pasa's case scenario with other fintech opportunities. He's saying that with Easy Pesa, what happened was that it was branded as a Garibo ka bank, like a bank for the poor. So is branding very much important in this genre, or Easy Pesa was just a one-off case? That's what I
So
have understood so far. Let's see.
branding, yeah, the positioning is very important, but again, the more important is a customer experience. Because yesterday I was discussing with one of my colleagues that now we have a five different digital bank in Pakistan. But my question was, and I was debating that what services they will be offering, what is the unique differentiator that will have, because they will be doing the lending, they will be allowing send money, receive money, they will be issuing the debit card. So that has already been happening. So uh, what unique thing they will bring to the table? So again, it's all about the customer experience. Like for example, we see a great intake into the Naya Pay wallet because their user experience is pretty much better as compared to Cash and EasyPesa. Uh, but again, it doesn't matter that the Garibo ka bank or something, that people want a service and a coverage. So if people are getting that service, so that's perfectly fine. So it should not be something like that. For example, that in India, they try to launch uh, Tata Nano card, and they try to price it with approximate 100,000 Indian rupees, and they try to say कि जो है ना सबसे सस्ती कार, तो वो जो है like, and that backfired for them because people anyway using but financial services में ऐसा नहीं है, तो people want cheap, reliable and fast services.
I hope that answers Zephyr's question. Zephyr, can you let us know if you have any follow-up question or it answers you? Then we can answer.
No, we can continue. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. So now we can move to the next
Okay,
person, and then we have a
Fiza
question in
has
the
a
chat box
question that
as
how
well.
do you see
Yeah.
the Fiza, how do you see the role of traditional bank evolving along with the fintech startup? I think that the traditional bank has already understood that they doesn't need to compete with the fintech. So now they are providing a support to the fintech because, for example, that like if fintech is coming uh, to a bank for a partnership, so all the deposit, the bank is also getting the deposit from the fintech. So what happened that it's a two-way communication. For example, that if bank is exposing the API to them or any services to them, in return the fintech is also giving them a deposit. So it's also, and bank operate and earn revenue through deposits. So it's so uh, s- so there's no competition now within the fintech and the traditional bank. And the future, I think that the traditional bank will keep innovating. You have example of the bank Alpha. They have the Alpha Mall. They have the first lifestyle branch in Zamzama, Karachi, and Alpha app. So they try to innovate and to compete with the digital bank and the fintechs as well. Yes, Amna.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. I'm actually
Walaikum
currently
salam.
enrolled in BS Financial Technology from doing in FAST. So basically, I am second semester student, like just ended my second semester. So I was actually discovering different niches, and I was very confused to look out for evaluate different niches and different options, and also that how should
Mhm.
I which internship opportunities should I look out for, and what kind of certifications currently I should be opting for in LinkedIn and etc. I hope you're getting my question and my concern.
अच्छा देखिए आमना, जो जहाँ तक बात है इंटर्नशिप की, आप सेकंड ईयर में हैं, तो इंटर्नशिप इज दैट नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इंटर्नशिप जो 6 वीक की होती है और 6 वीक में आप बहुत कम सीखते हैं, ठीक है, और आपको ज़्यादा काम भी नहीं दिया जाता, लाइक देयर इज नो चेक एंड बैलेंस, आप कितने बजे आ रहे हैं, कितने बजे आ रहे हैं, और आपको जो है टास्क भी बहुत कम, छोटा सा टास्क दिया जाता है, बिकॉज लाइक कंपनी ऑल्सो इंश्योर के यार कि जो है आपको कोई ऐसा सेंसिटिव काम ना देते हैं जो आप जो है, क्योंकि बिकॉज यू आर फ्रेशर, तो आप वो काम ही जो है ना वो बिगाड़ दें। ठीक है, तो आप किसी चीज़ में भी जो भी आपके एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, वेर यू वांट टू ग्रो, आप उसमें इंटर्नशिप कर लें। उसका फ़ायदा ये होगा कि जब आप अपनी डिग्री कंप्लीट करेंगी, व्हेन यू विल गो फॉर अ जॉब, तो आप जो है जहाँ पे आपने इंटर्नशिप की थी, आप उनको अप्रोच कर सकती हैं। लाइक आई गिव एग्जांपल दैट वन गर्ल फ्रॉम द लम्स, शी डिड अ internship with us in Alfalah, and then after completing her degree in 2025, now she approached us that she's looking for a job and I'm considering her to hire her. So आप अपने एक नेटवर्क बिल्ड कर रहे होते हैं। तो आप देखें कि जी आपने कहाँ पे जो है आपका जो करियर पाथ क्या होगा, लाइक आप सर्च करें कि आपका इंटरेस्ट क्या है, फ्यूचर जॉब डिमांड क्या है। आई गिव एग्जांपल दैट आई सी दैट प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर has a potential, and in future, even with the AI, the demand for the product manager will remain there. ठीक है, और the path is that कि आप जो है आप you will become a chief product officer, CPO, you can become a chief product officer. So this is the career path you will have if you become a product manager.
And actually, I was very confused about different niches, and I was thinking, how should I evaluate and how should I check that मेरी क्या area of interest बन रहा है? Because like इतना diverse है सब कुछ, और बहुत ज़्यादा अभी fintech financial technology, as we all know, कि बहुत ज़्यादा नया है, और as such पाकिस्तान में like of course एक education system वगैरह का भी होता है, तो वो अब हम लोगों को इस तरह से practical experience नहीं मिलता है। तो आई वांट कि मैं थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस देखूं, क्योंकि वो किताबी बातें ऑफ कोर्स वो सब चीजें तो थोड़ी थोड़ी प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ से थोड़ी डिफरेंट होती है। तो थोड़ा इस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी मेरा क्वेश्चन है।
देखिए आमना, मैंने आपको पहले गाइड किया है कि इंटर्नशिप में आपकी लर्निंग बहुत कम होती है। इट्स मोर अबाउट नेटवर्किंग, क्योंकि मैं जो है आई एम ट्राइंग टू बी वेरी प्रैक्टिकल। तो जब के जो है, क्योंकि आप 6 वीक के लिए आते हैं जिसमें भी आप जो है और तो आप देख लें कि जो है कि आपको जो है फ्यूचर आपका आपका एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट किस चीज़ में है, बिकॉज इट्स ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि जी जो भी काम आप करें आपको उसमें मजा आना चाहिए। इट्स नॉट समथिंग कि जी कि यू फील कि जी आप पे जो है कोई चीज़ इम्पोज कर दी गई है, यू विल नॉट एंजॉय इट। क्योंकि फॉर एग्जांपल आई आई लव इनोवेटिंग थिंग, आई ट्राई टू बी क्रिएटिव, तो मुझे प्रोडक्ट में मजा मजा आता है। ठीक है, बिकॉज वी इनोवेट थिंग्स, हम देख रहे होते हैं कि दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है, कि हम क्या हमारी पाकिस्तानी रेगुलेशन स्टेट बैंक अलाउ करता है कि अगर हम पाकिस्तान में वो चीज़ इंप्लीमेंट करना चाहें, यस और नो, अगर कर सकते हैं तो हमारी क्या कंस्ट्रेंट हैं। तो सो यू नीड टू वैल्यूएट योरसेल्फ। और अगेन अगेन इंटर्नशिप में अभी जो है यू आर सेकंड ईयर स्टूडेंट, तो अभी देयर इज अ लॉन्ग वे। तो मेरे ख्याल से अभी आप इतना ज़्यादा मत सोचें इंटर्नशिप के हवाले से कि आप किस चीज़ में आपने जाना है। जस्ट जो भी आपके रेलिवेंट डिग्री से रेलिवेंट है वहाँ पे अपने इंटर्नशिप करें। एंड अगर आपको चांस मिलता है कोई अच्छी कंपनी हो, तो आई थिंक दैट विल बी ग्रेट, क्योंकि वो जो है वो एक जो टैग लगता है वो इम्पोर्टेंट होता है।
ओके, थैंक यू। और उसके अलावा लाइक अभी ऑफ कोर्स समर्स हैं, तो आई वाज कि मैं थोड़ा एक्सप्लोर करूं, तो कोर्सेरा के कोर्सेज वगैरह आर दे हेल्प लाइक in terms of updating on LinkedIn, etc.
अ, देखिए देखिए जॉब आपको जो है, अगर आप प्रोफेशनल सर्टिफिकेशंस कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल स्क्रम की कर रही हैं, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट की कर रही हैं, दे आर हेल्पफुल। बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द यूडेमी, कोर्सेरा, दैट इज ओनली फॉर लर्निंग पर्पसेस, तो ये आपकी जॉब में इतना वैल्यू ऐड नहीं करते। ठीक है, बट आई यूजुअली प्रेफर यूडेमी मोर एज कम्पेयर टू कोर्सेरा, बिकॉज उसमें थोड़ा सा क्रिस्प ज़्यादा बेहतर होता है कंटेंट जो होता है।
Right, thank you so much.
Anyone else who has a question? Academics 17, you have a question?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
जी वालेकुम सलाम।
एक्चुअली बुरहान, मेरा क्वेश्चन जो है पॉलिसी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, मेरा नाम अमारा है, आई एम फ्रॉम फैकल्टी वर्चुअल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ पाकिस्तान। तो जो अभी अगर हम पॉलिसी को देखें तो इसकी पॉलिसी काफ़ी अग्रेसिव है डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शंस को प्रमोट करने के लिए। बट ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर हम रिसेंट डेवलपमेंट देखें बाय एफपीआर और गवर्नमेंट की डेवलपमेंट्स को देखें, तो जो उनकी पॉलिसीज, टैक्स पॉलिसीज हैं, वो एसपीपी के ज़्यादा अलाइन नज़र नहीं आती। जैसे एग्जांपल लेके उन्होंने जो टैक्स इम्पोज किए हैं, जो उसके लिए उन्होंने प्रोपोजिशंस दिए हैं, सजेशंस दिए हैं कि कुछ वेबसाइट्स जो रिटेल वेबसाइट्स हैं उन पे भी टैक्स इम्पोज किया जाए अगर वहाँ पे कंज्यूमर ऑनलाइन परचेजेस करता है, जैसे उसमें दराज भी उन्होंने इंक्लूड किया है। तो क्या ये नहीं लगता कि यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट या एफपीआर की पॉलिसी जो है वो एसपीपी की पॉलिसी से कंट्राडिक्ट है और डिस्करेजिंग है ऑनलाइन या डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शंस के लिए? और इसको आप किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखते हैं कि ये हमारे ये जो डिजिटल वॉलेट है या इस तरह की जो हमारी कंपनीज हैं उनको इफेक्ट करेगी गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज?
देखिए हमारा जो एक देखिए, अगर आप जो है अभी जो है अगर आप कैश पेमेंट करती हैं तो आपको जो है डिफरेंट टैक्स पड़ता है, अगर आप कार्ड पेमेंट करती हैं तो आपको 5% टैक्स पड़ता है, ठीक है। तो ये तो जो है ऑलरेडी जो है हम इसको प्रमोट कर रहे हैं फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज को, ठीक है, थ्रू थ्रू अ डिजिटल चैनल। बट या आई कंप्लीटली एग्री विद यू विद दिस न्यू बजट दे हैव प्रपोज्ड कि अगर आपकी 10,000 तक की ट्रांजैक्शन है तो उस पर 1% टैक्स होगा, एंड इफ इट्स मोर देन 10,000 तो उस पर 2% टैक्स होगा, इफ इट्स इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजैक्शन तो उस पर जो है 5% टैक्स होगा। तो सो दिस इज अ डेवलपिंग थिंग और इस पे भी डिबेट हो रही है, इस पे जो है लाइक, बट अगेन दिस इज अ गवर्नमेंट स्टांस, तो उस पर तो हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते।
ओके, फ्यूचर।
Anyone else who has a question?
Everyone, you have like 15 seconds to raise your hand if you have a question. Otherwise, we'll end the session. Okay, I guess no. Yes, I shall go ahead. Yes, Aisha Nadeem, can you ask your question or write it in the chat box?
Yeah. Hi. Assalamu alaikum, Burhan. So my
Assalamualaikum,
question is
Aisha.
just to I work at a tech company and we do have a lot of financial services clients that come to us for digital transformation, for things like that. But what I wanted your input on was that the way that we say tech is evolving, and with AI everything is changing, and digital transformation things, all of these things have become expedited. Job roles are getting changed every single day. Are we in Pakistan keeping at the same pace as globally? People are evolving with their digital transformation methods, especially in banks, because I feel like in Pakistan, basically that's where innovation happens primarily, right? In financial services. So is there a
अच्छा
way there for mid-level
अच्छा
careers?
अच्छा देखिए आयशा, मैंने जो है लाइक आई हैव वर्कड इन टेलीनॉर ग्रुप, आई हैव वर्कड इन ऑडिट बोथ फॉर द मल्टीनेशनल एंड आई वर्कड इन द सीनियर पोजीशन एट द हेड लेवल। तो जो दुनिया में हो रहा है वो पाकिस्तान में तो नहीं हो रहा। तो चीज़ें बेहतर होना शुरू हो गई हैं। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि फॉर एग्जांपल देयर यूज्ड टू बी द वाटरफॉल टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर द मेथड फॉर द प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट। अब जो है एजाइल की तरफ कंपनीज आ रही हैं, बट अगेन इट्स अ स्लो अडॉप्शन एंड इट विल टेक सम टाइम। अगेन इट्स अ माइंडसेट दैट वी नीड टू चेंज। प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जी के लोग जब एक चीज अरसे से करते आ रहे हैं ना, तो कोई नई चीज लाने की कोशिश करें तो रेजिस्टेंस बहुत ज्यादा होती है। तो जब तक माइंड सेट शिफ्ट नहीं होगा ये बहुत मुश्किल होगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल लाइक इवन इफ द एसबीपी इज like promoting the RAS API, QR and everything, but जो companies है the execution part that is very slow. तो जो priority है that is very slow. तो वो चीज़ जो है again it's all about the mindset. तो चीज़ें evolve हो रही हैं, but again it will take time. People need to understand. People will understand कि जी कि अगर उन्होंने sustain करना है और grow करना है तो उनको अपना mindset change करना पड़ेगा। Otherwise जो है क्योंकि जो नई generation आ रही है they ask question. ठीक है, why we are not, like you ask a question that why we are not doing this, ठीक है। तो and when senior like us, when we don't have an answer, तो you know that कि आप expose हो जाते हैं with the passage of time। तो फिर या तो वो अपने आप को चेंज कर लेते हैं, या फिर वो फिर जो है अब मैं क्या कहूँ इस पे ज्यादा जो है ना, लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू कमेंट ओपनली ऑन दैट, बट जो है ना, आई थिंक इट विल टेक सम टाइम इन पाकिस्तान.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else who has a question, or we just conclude the call? I was thinking कि मैं 1 घंटे के अंदर अंदर खत्म कर दूंगा. That was my aim. That why I was bit fast in presenting. तो but still 1 घंटा जो है 12 मिनट हो गए हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से और कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है. Thank you Aisha so much for arranging this. It was it's always great कि जो है कि आप लम्स के स्टूडेंट को कुछ गाइड कर सकें, because like I have learned a lot from लम्स. Or it's you guys, if anyone has any question, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Burhan Mehdi, and I'm happy to assist you with your queries.
Thank you, Burhan. Thank you for the insightful session. I'm sure the students would have learned a lot and have gotten really good insights on the fintech sector, and can now have a better exploration in the case trajectory of this sector. Thank you for connecting with us, and thank you everyone for joining in the session. Bye bye. Have a
Thank you
good
everyone.
day.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.